Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and it is time to review WWE's Elimination Chamber 2023. This event actually took place last night. I had to watch some of the matches again, and mostly because I had to work, so I ended up missing the good bulk of the show. Oh, and my phone died on my way home from work, so some of the matches I had to rewatch, but we rewatched them, and we're gonna go through and review them here today. So, for those of you who have watched these before, you kind of already know how this works. For those of you who haven't, I'm gonna be talking about each and every match, talking about my favorite and least favorite matches of the night, and pretty much what I thought about each match. And the Elimination Chamber, the match type, not necessarily the pay-per-view, but the match type is usually one of my favorite match types because of all the brutality and physicality. Not as much nowadays because they had to tone stuff down a little bit, which makes sense. They had to protect the wrestlers and everything, but yeah. So, but still, usually pretty fun, except when it's not. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So, starting off with the first match was the women's chamber match for her shot at the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania to see who faced Bianca Belair. So it was Asuka, Carmella, Liv Morgan, Natalya, Nikki Cross, and Raquel Rodriguez, and Asuka ended up winning in the end. To be honest, out of the two chair matches, I felt like this was the weaker of the two, but still pretty decent. There were some cool moments, such as Nikki Cross coming off the top of the pod. There were some kind of cool moments using the chamber and everything. And I think all six of these women worked really well. The first to go, surprisingly, was Nikki Cross, and the last to go out was actually Carmella, which interesting choice, I guess, in terms of order. In terms of viable candidates to win the match, honestly, there were a few people who you could realistically see winning the match, and I feel like with Elimination Chamber matches, normally that's the case. Sometimes it's not, where it's like one or two people that are obviously winning, and the other like four or five, definitely aren't winning the match, but there were some somewhat viable candidates. I think Asuka was like the odds-on favorite to win because of her character change, tapping into her New Japan persona of Kana, and then Carmella, who's actually faced Bianca Belair before back at Money in the Bank in 2022. Then there's Liv Morgan, who, of course, former SmackDown Women's Champion that you could see. Natalya is a maybe. Nikki Cross is kind of a maybe, although Nikki Cross has been getting a mini push as of late, like tweaking her character and everything. No longer the superhero. And Raquel Rodriguez, I think I could see being in the title picture, but otherwise, pretty decent match. Kind of cool match. Like I said, some cool spots. And including Liv Morgan with like a super sunset flip off the top of the pod to powerbomb Raquel Rodriguez. That was really, really cool. Cool moments like that, and Nikki Cross coming off the top of the pod. But yeah, so this one was the weaker of the two. Not necessarily because of a bad match, but because of the men's match. Whew, we're going to get to that. But next up was Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Not really the biggest fan of this match. It's a match that could have been cool, but kind of weak. And it was the shortest match of the night, and it ended in a DQ with Lashley. Brock Lesnar, I should say, getting DQ'd by low blowing Bobby Lashley as Brock was in the Hurt Lock, and then afterwards Brock beat up Lashley and then beat up the referee. I swear Brock Lesnar always beats up the referees. No referees are safe when Brock Lesnar is around, but pretty much putting Lashley through the table, then F5ing the referee onto the broken table, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, so kind of kind of a nothing match, and that DQ was kind of like a wet fart ending. Not really a big fan of it. And both these men, I'm sure, are very capable of putting on really, really solid matches against each other. But uh, it feels like it feels like they hold back a little bit. Like the one at the Rumble could have been better, and the one at Crown Jewel was okay, but it didn't really reach that upper echelon, and that one had kind of a wet fart ending as well. Oh, and then here it's these two are capable of putting on a good match, and I'm sure they're more than capable of putting on a good match with each other. So what's the deal? But next up was the mixed tag between Edge and Beth Phoenix, going against the Judgment Day, which was Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Dominic was out there with the Judgment Day. The Montreal whole fans hated Dominic. The "F you Dominic" chants, booing almost everything he did. The Montreal crowd did not like Dominic, but this was a pretty cool match, and Edge and Beth Phoenix getting some revenge against the Judgment Day, winning with the Shatter Machine, which interesting choice, but I know it makes sense because Edge is kind of friends with Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, you might know them as Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder in WWE as a Revival. Now they're Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler of FTR and AEW, but winning with that move, nice little nod to them. Some pretty cool back and forth, and like I said, Edge and Beth Phoenix getting the win over the Judgment Day, which makes sense. They're in Canada and everything, but at the same time, Rhea is supposed to be facing for the SmackDown on Women's title at Mania. She should probably get a few wins to get some momentum, and I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of Raws and SmackDowns because the superstars go where they want anyway. Hey, but hopefully Rhea will get the momentum to challenge for the SmackDown Women's title. But yeah, so Edge and Beth Phoenix getting the win there. Next up was the men's Elimination Chamber. This one for the United States Championship, which this was a fantastic match. All six men put on a really, really good match. And nice little trivia. They said this is the first time the United States Championship has been on the line in the Elimination Chamber, which nice little neat bit of trivia. And you had Austin Theory defending his title against Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, Montez Ford, and Seth Rollins. And then everyone except for Austin Theory and Seth Rollins, this is their first chamber match, and they did really, really well. There was a lot of cool spots. Montez Ford doing like a dive off the top of the chamber, which was really cool. That Hurricane Rana off the pod to Seth Rollins and into everybody below was really, really nice. 3 finishers to put away Bronson Reed. And all 6 men looked like stars, especially Montez Ford. You can tell they're definitely going to strap the rocket to him soon. And hopefully it doesn't lead to the breakup of the Street Profits, but you can tell they definitely have big plans for Montez Ford, and it was definitely a star-making performance. And really, star-making performance by all 6 of these guys, but especially Montez. He definitely got built up in a huge way in this match. But Austin Theory walking out still the champion, thanks to Logan Paul. Yes, Logan Paul. So it was Austin Theory and Seth Rollins left, and then Logan Paul got in the chamber, distracted Rollins, and then Austin Theory put Rollins away thanks to Logan Paul. And Logan actually hit the buckshot lariat on Seth. And no one tell Hangman Page, but yeah. So Logan Paul cost Seth Rollins the match, and it makes sense because apparently the plan is for Seth Rollins to face Logan Paul at WrestleMania, which I think is going to be a pretty good match. Seth usually knows how to put on a good match, and Logan, even though Logan's still pretty new, you can tell he's definitely got it so far. He's not technical wizard yet, but you can tell he, for the most part, knows what he's doing. He's definitely put in the work. Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, they've definitely set the bar for celebrity appearances is in wrestling. They've definitely set the bar high. So any other celebrity that comes in, we're going to be expecting a lot out of them. Pretty much thanks to Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, but that's should be a good match. Austin Theory is also apparently going to face John Cena for the U.S. title, defend the title against John Cena at Mania, which I think will also be a pretty good match. But as for the chamber match, really, really solid stuff. And then the main event, in Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn, honorary Uce no more. Sami Zayn in his hometown, going against Roman, so of course he didn't win. It was still a really, really good match though. Like both men looked really, really good. Sami Zayn looked like he had a lot of heart in the match, which of course fits into the character. Roman looks like an absolute beast. Going against Zayn, and it took two ref bumps, and then the Usos more so Jimmy Uso, to put away Sami Zayn, and then more tension within the Bloodline tease as Roman handed the chair off to Jay. Jay didn't do anything, and Jay just didn't want to do it. Roman took the chair from him and pushed him a little bit, and Jay got out of there. So if the plan is for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to challenge the Usos for the titles, they are definitely milking it. But makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so Sami Zayn looked really, really good in defeat, and Roman, of course, waylaying on Sami with the chair. And then after that, Roman and Jimmy were attacking Sami. Kevin Owens made the save. Paul Heyman tried to get involved in a funny way. Stunning Paul Heyman putting Jimmy through the announce table. Sami hitting the hula kick. So at least the fans go home happy, even though Sami lost here. But really, really good stuff. And Sami looked like a very, very viable competitor, which in a world title match is definitely what you want. You definitely want the challenger to look as good, if not slightly less, than the champion. Yeah, so overall, pretty decent show for the most part. In terms of the best matches, honestly, it's between the two. The last two matches, the U.S. title elimination chamber match and the the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, for two different reasons, and there's two different reasons to like these matches. And actually checking the wiki article here, which I pull up for reference and everything, and it looks like the Universal title match was longer than the chamber match, which is interesting, even though the title match didn't feel longer than the chamber, which isn't a bad thing. But I think the chamber might usually feel longer because of like the timers and everything. But anyway, if you for like a just all kinds of action and fantastic spots and everything, the U.S. title chamber match is definitely the way to go for that. But for pure storytelling, definitely the Universal title match, the Undisputed Universal title match, is definitely the way to go. So two very good matches for somewhat different reasons. Like I said, there was still action in Roman and Sami, but the focus was more on the storytelling. And then Roman taunting Sami, saying, "I'll let you into my family." Roman's voice was like shot throughout the match. Like Roman definitely lost his voice. I'm not sure how, yeah. So, for pure storytelling, the Undisputed Universal Title match. For pure action and everything, the United States Championship Chamber match. In terms of the weakest match, like I said, I gotta go with Bobby and Brock. It was pretty disappointing, and I don't think it's gonna be the end of this feud. You can't end it on this. It's like a DQ, and then Brock just beat up Lashley and the referee, and then left it at that. But just kind of a weak one. Like at least Bobby got the win, but not like this. It's probably gonna be like a rematch, possibly at Mania. It's like finish up the feud and everything. But I feel like the feud between these two has been better than the matches. Like them going after each other, Brock cutting that kind of sus promo, but the feud has been pretty good. But the matches could have been better. I'm a bit disappointed, but nevertheless, that's gonna do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you who did, please do me a favor: like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are about Elimination Chamber if you saw the event. And yeah, so did you enjoy the event? Did you enjoy my review of the event? Let me know in the comments below. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.